What if every financial decision you've ever made has been missing one critical piece of information and nobody ever told you it existed? Picture someone who's doing everything right. They've got a job, they're paying their bills, and they're even saving for retirement. Every morning they grab a coffee, every weekend they're eating out, and why not? They're living well within their means. But they're missing one small blind spot, and it's quietly working against them every single day. But here's where it gets really interesting. It's not really about the coffee. Everyone says just cut the latte and you'll be rich. But they're missing a key concept here. And once I teach you this concept, you will never look at a purchase the same way again. There is a saying that I absolutely love, and it goes, the rich stay rich, living like they're poor, and the poor stay poor, living like they're rich. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most important financial principles you'll ever hear. Wealthy people are not out here blowing money on every luxury that they can afford. They're thinking about what their money can actually become. And that is the exact mindset of what opportunity cost is all about. So what is opportunity cost? Everything comes with a price, but most of us only think about the price we pay today. You see that mocha on the menu for $4, you tap your card and you move on with your day. That's the real cost, $4 out of pocket right now. But the opportunity cost is something completely different. It's asking, what could this money become if I'd done something else with it? When you make any purchase, there are really two questions worth asking. First, what are you giving up today? Instead of that $4 mocha, maybe you could grab a kombucha or an ice cream, or just keep the money. And the second question you should ask is, what are you giving up in the future? Because that $4, if it's invested, has the potential to grow into something much larger down the road. Now, skipping one mocha isn't going to buy you a Lamborghini, but the habit of thinking this way applied consistently over time is exactly what builds financial freedom. We as humans are wired to consume now rather than save and consume later. It's just how we are built, which is why most of us never stop to think about the future value of our money. But once you start, it's hard to stop. So how do we actually evaluate the opportunity cost? There are two ways to look at it, a one-time purchase and a reoccurring purchase. Let's start with that one-time purchase. Say you have $1,000 and you're thinking about buying a new TV to replace the one that you've had for years. Nothing wrong with wanting that new, nice TV, but before you pull the trigger, take 2 minutes to look at the opportunity cost. The easiest way to do this is with a free compound interest calculator. I recommend the one at investor.gov. It's straightforward and it's free. You plug in your $1,000, set the interest rate to 7% because this is a very common estimate based on historical average stock market returns, and then choose your time frame. After 5 years, that $1,000 becomes $1,402. That's a nicer TV than the one you were able to buy today. After 10 years, it becomes $1,967, and after 30 years, that $1,000 quietly turns into $7,600, all without you doing anything else except investing in the market. Now, that doesn't mean you should never buy a TV again, but at least you're making this decision knowing what your money is actually capable of. But at least you're making this purchase knowing exactly what your money is capable of. Now, let's talk about a reoccurring purchase. This is where it gets really interesting. Small daily habits are where a lot of people bleed money without even realizing it. Let's use the famous coffee example. Say you're buying a $4 coffee every single day, and now you decide to make your coffee at home just 4 days a week, which costs you $1. So that saves $3 each time. $3 times 4 days a week is $12 a week, or $624 a year. Over 30 years of doing this, you have set aside $18,720. Not bad. But here's where it gets wild. If you've invested that money and are averaging 7% annual return in something like an index fund, that $620 a year doesn't just become $18,000. If we use that compound interest calculator, we see that that becomes $59,000 just by switching to making coffee at home 4 days a week. And coffee is just one example. Think about that $15 a month streaming service you forgot you signed up for, the $200 you spend every month eating out, the gym membership you're not even using. Run any of these through the interest calculator and I bet these numbers will probably surprise you. I like to think of opportunity cost as a tool, not a guilt trip. Depending on your situation, the math might tell you that the purchase is worth it, and that's completely valid conclusion. Maybe that TV genuinely improves your life every single day. Maybe your morning coffee is the one ritual that keeps you sane. We can't save every dollar, and we shouldn't try to. The goal is to live a life that we actually enjoy. What opportunity cost allows us to do is to make sure that we are choosing consciously instead of spending on autopilot. This allows you to see the true potential of your money, and then you decide what's worth it to you. This is one of the most powerful financial habits that you can build. Every dollar you spend today is a decision about your future self. Make sure that your future self would agree with your choice. If this video made you think differently about how you spend, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, it helps my channel, and as always, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.